Hello everyone, my name is Nagaraj and today we are going to see how we are going to implement the Flutter integration test. In order to do this, I have taken I have borrowed Felix code from the blog, and the project which I have chosen now is Flutter_login, and all of the code you can actually find it in the GitHub. It is here. I have already. So this is a project that we are going to see, and not all of these. In this, we are going to see the Flutter login. That is what I have taken here. I have pulled the code from the GitHub repo, and we are here now. Alright, our aim is to write the Flutter integration test. Before writing that, we will see how this app works now. So I'm going to execute it. I have connected my device. Now whatever I have done manually, we are going to test it with the help of Flutter integration. Cool. Let's get into some action. For this to do, I am going to use the library. Let me go to pub.dev, integration test. You can see the integration test, and it is by the Flutter team itself. But you don't want to use like a regular package integration _test.1.2 whatever, because they have already added this in their SDK. All we have to do is follow this. Instead of copy pasting this in the pubspec.yaml, find dev_dependencies in pubspec.yaml and then copy these two lines. Just paste it. Okay, now we are going to blindly follow the instruction, and I'm going to do nothing unusual. Okay, the first thing is we have to define the data entry point and driver entry point. For that, I have to create file named integration_test.dart in the test_driver folder. Okay. Okay, in order to test it, I need to import this main. Where is this main? It is inside lib and yeah. Okay, I'm going to import this main. Here the main loads a widget called user repository, and then inside it runs app. Sorry, it is app stateless widget. Inside that we are going to load app view, and this app view if it is authenticated, it is going to home page. If it is unauthenticated, it is root. Okay, it will be login page, and in this login page it is going to load the login form. And to confirm this is a login form, we have an app bar, and in the app bar we have the title called login. So let's check. Once the app loads, we are going to check whether the current screen has an app bar and that app bar has a title called login. This is what we are going to test now. The first test is going to be expect if it is an app bar and the app bar is text and the text widget's text is login. Okay. Cool. Here what we have done is I am loading the main, and the main by default it loads a login screen. I'm just going to confirm whether the loaded screen is a login screen. It has an app bar and the app bar is a text widget. Inside the text widget it has a text called login. Okay, let's run this. In my login page, I have a widget called login form, and in that login form, I have user input and password input. Along with that, we have login button as well. Okay, let's see what is user input. The user input widget is nothing but a text field and has a key called login something something. Okay, all right. Now let's find this widget by the key. Where is my test? Here it is. So now we are very much confident that the loaded page is a login page. So we are going to find more widgets. What are we going to find? The first thing is and after this I am going to wait for a few seconds. Now that we have identified the username, we should also identify the password. This is my password key. I have identified my email input and then I'm entering this one. After that I'm identifying my password input and I'm entering this as password. Alright, let's test this. Now here we'll be entering the username and then we'll be entering the password. That's all. and all tests have been passed. Cool. Now, since we have entered our username and password, we will test the button tab for login button. Before seeing what will be the next screen, I'll explain you what happens after we click the login button. Whenever I click a login button, login submitted event is called, login submitted, and in the block what happens whenever this event is filed, I am calling map login submitted, and we are checking the status. Like we are sending a new status called submission in progress, and afterwards I'm trying to log in with the username and password which I have right now. If it is all good, then I'm doing submission success or submission failure. What happens if it is submission success? It is just a state form status.status submission success. Okay, if it is success, we are showing a new screen called home screen, and that home screen has user ID and some random generated user ID using unique ID, and also we have a text called logout or a button called logout. Okay, good. I think 10 seconds is too much. Yeah. So all tests have been passed now. Now in that screen, we have a button with the text called logout. So we are going to test the logout as well. So now I'll be checking if there is a text called logout in the current screen, whichever it got loaded. Oh yeah, we couldn't see the login and everything. The test passed, but we couldn't see the login home screen because immediately when the page loaded, we clicked logout button. So I'll just add 2 seconds delay, and one final time we'll run it. That's all. Now tap logout button and we are back to home screen. All tests passed, and that's it. Now we have actually tested end to end. Like the page has loaded, I have verified whether the app bar is login and also a few other things. You can of course you can add more tests you want. This is just a demonstration.